This is Robert Porter. Welcome to the I Love San Bernardino radio show on station CNBC KCAA 1050, www.kcaaradio.com. A part of Danny Alcaraz and Angel Baby Sunday block every Sunday from 4 to 9 p.m. A place where we can all learn together. Now, our call-in line is 1-888-909-1050. Later, find out about please tune in later for Angel Baby's show, and he's going to have some really cool tunes and great interviews. All right, city events to remember. The election is coming up. Please register to vote. If you need to find out where, you can go online and Google register to vote in California. Sign up. They'll send you some information you got to sign. Or you can possibly, have the ballot sent to your house as a provisional, as a, what do they call it, absentee ballot?
Yeah.
And you can vote that way if you wish. But we really need you to vote. San Bernardino doesn't vote that much, and we need you to vote. So please, if you see an opportunity, register to vote. Freaky Funnel Cake Contest, Halloween, Saturday 31st from 11 to 2 p.m. at the Green Spooky Shack Deli. This is just a fun event for the kids, so come on down, and we should have a little funnel cake contest, and you can eat some funnel cake and play some games before you head out there to Halloween, and maybe buy yourself a nice Green Shack sandwich. All right, and our sponsor, Green Shack Deli, established 1978, it boasts voted best subs in the IE, 163 West Highland Avenue, San Bernardino, California, 92405-909-886-3812, and order the Mafia Meatball. It is excellent. Have you had the Mafia Meatball, Danny?
No, I'm going to try it.
Oh, man, Manel maybe had it. Good stuff.
Really?
Because I love the Green Shack. Mike Gallo, president of San Bernardino School Board and founder of Kelly Space Technologies, leading the way to San Bernardino prosperity. Our new DJ on I Love San Bernardino, disc jockey Will DJ Muda. What's up, dude?
Woohoo!
And right now we have former mayoral candidate and current San Bernardino treasurer candidate Carmel Rowe. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and yourself?
Excelente! I'm actually doing great this week because I had a lot of fun things. We had some CERT training. We had a Native American Day. I actually yesterday got to teach gold, so it's been an incredible week. So let's keep it on going. And now we got some great information, right?
I saw that with the kids. That was pretty good.
Oh, doing the gold stuff. They love gold and fossils, Danny.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's honestly like most of the time I'm not even there.
Sounds like fun.
Well, it was kind of fun. This time I did condense the fossils a little bit and specifically focus on certain ones, and I think they like them. So maybe next time, instead of having too many, I'll have a little less.
Are the kids interested when you talk about that, the gold and stuff?
Man, they run and get their parents.
Really?
Yeah, this is some real cool stuff.
My kids love that stuff.
Well, I have to have you around to one of these.
They love that kind of stuff.
Okay, well, this is what's really interesting. Now, personally in San Bernardino, I didn't even know there was a treasurer position for a long time. So, let us know what this treasurer position is, what it entails, and what you do. What do you want to do?
Okay, so the treasurer position, if you look at the city charter, I'm going to just read this to you. I could paraphrase it, but it sounds a little better if I read it. It says, the treasurer shall receive and pay out all monies belonging to the city and shall keep an account of all receipts and expenditures under such rules and regulations as much as may be prescribed. He or she shall make a monthly statement to the mayor and the common council of all the receipts and expenditures of the preceding month, and shall perform all duties required of him or her by law in the mayor and common council. He/she shall not pay out any monies belonging to the city except on claims presented, allowed, and submitted in the manner provided by this charter. And then they list a law case. So when I decided to do this, I said, what does the job entail? Because I believe that I'm 100% qualified to be the treasurer of the city of San Bernardino, and I'll tell you that in a little bit. But then when I went on the city website, it says that the city treasurer is a part-time position elected at large to a 4-year term. The city treasurer is responsible for overseeing city investments and related policies and established by the common council. The city treasurer gives direction to the treasurer's office staff and when and what types of investments to make on behalf of the city and water departments. Prior to any investment being made, the city treasurer reviews each investment for safety, liquidity, and yield. So when I take those two, they're completely different. it's like half a job. Half a job's been being done, and then the other half has not been being done, and therefore there's nobody actually in City Hall accountable. The reason nobody went to jail, the reason we still don't know anything, the reason we're still fighting for audits, is because there is not elected official accountable. For 24 years, we have been made to believe that the job of the treasurer is just to oversee assets. Well, I beg to differ. Our city charter has never been changed. I do not see anything on here that says, hey, see page 52 for an updated, you know, duty list. I don't see that. What I see is what was written, what the people should be entitled to, and I see that we haven't got that. I see that for 24 years, and I'm not accusing the treasurer of stealing any money. I'm not accusing him of doing that. What I'm accusing him of is not knowing his job, or knowing his job and only accepting the responsibility for the half that he wanted to do. Okay, and now we are in bankruptcy. We have nobody that's accountable. We don't control our own finance department, which the head of the finance department is an at-will employee. We don't need an at-will employee that makes too much. We need an elected official doing their job that is overseeing where our money went. Now, me, personally, I want to be accountable for that. So in 4 years, if everybody wants to look and say, hey, Carmel, where's the money? I want to say, this is where the money's at. I've been posting it on the website every month like I'm supposed to. When we go to city council meetings, I want to say, what do you people want to do? I got a list of 16 pages of grants that would help us not outsource the fire department, that would help with the used car tire shops. I want business owners to be able to participate on these other outside curricular boards. You know, I want people, I don't want you just to have to live in the city. I want everybody to work together, and we are not doing that. And the position of the treasurer is the only position that actually gets to work with everybody. And I, Carmel Rowe, would like to bring unity to the city of San Bernardino because we are lacking that very much.
So you were mentioning that earlier that the treasurer position is a position that has contact with all branches of the San Bernardino government, correct?
Correct.
And so that to me would be like a middleman, like someone we really need to be a social person, right?
Right.
So you'd have to have numbers abilities plus social abilities, I think, for that position to be run well.
Correct.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Mr. Alcaraz?
Yes, you said right now you were talking about that. They do the investments of buying. What do they do? What does he do?
So I had a lady. It's a he. I had a lady from the water department tell me that, oh, the water department is their biggest customer, and okay, so then why do we need sewer money? Is what I want to say. Why was last city council meeting about sewer money? But I'm not in. You know, people have told me that there's restrictions on the kind of investments that the city can make. Well, I'm not in that office, so I don't actually know that information, but that's information I plan to find out because me personally, I'd buy tax sales. I'd get 25% on all the money we put out for the tax sales, and if people don't redeem their property and we don't get our 25%, then we get a property that we could then in turn sell. We could use these grant funds. Instead of building low income, we could invite home ownership because our city is at 48% home ownership and 52% renters. Now, that's a problem. Everybody in the city could own a house. I mean, there's programs out there. There's $5,000 programs. There's match programs. My councilman just gave me the grant list. I see it. We are not using our funds properly. Nobody is instructing the city about investments. Nobody is instructing the city on anything that has to do with money, and we can tell.
Where does the buck stop there, then?
The puck stops right here with Carmel Rowe. Okay? I mean, that's where it stops.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, like, who's in charge over there?
Kermit the Frog? I don't know. I mean, I've
Well, I think Danny kind of said it when he didn't know if our treasurer was a male or female.
Right. I was wondering what do they do?
Danny knows everybody in the city.
I mean, what do they do? They see investment, buy houses, buy buildings, or what do they do?
It's probably more like stocks and, you know, like mutual funds.
Let's buy this and we'll double, triple our money?
I guess, because, I mean, I am a financial advisor. I've been a financial advisor. I've run my own business for 20 years. I've been in the financial industry for 20 years. So when you tell me the word investment, I think of a lot of different things, but I don't know what he per se invests in. I know what I would invest in, what I would look into, what I would think about. You know, I know where I would start, but as far as him, I don't know because we're in bankruptcy, so I don't know how good of investments we currently have.
I got one more question. We're in Chapter 9, right?
Yes.
The city is. So is that reconsolidation? So does he still control the money, or does it go to the bankruptcy court?
Well, I don't think he's ever controlled the money, being that he doesn't really, it doesn't seem to me on his website that he does all of his job. I think that we've left the money in the hands of the finance department for the last 24 years, which has been the problem. Because at that point, there is nobody accountable, because the person who gets hired there gets hired by the mayor and common council. And then when that person gets fired, there goes their records. And there's been people who've tried to tell the truth. And if you go back through the city records and you see all the finance directors who's been fired, and the finance department is in the hot seat right now, it's because nobody's over them. Nobody's watching. There's not a person watching our money.
How do we get this audit done then? Like, how do we get them to look at this information more closely?
We vote for Carmel Rowe on November 3rd. I mean, that's the only answer I have to the solution. Otherwise, I don't know that we're ever really heard. I know that there's voices out there, Councilman Barrios, Councilman Nickel.
If you don't get elected, what do we do then?
We run.
Yeah, see, that's where I'm at.
Run. That's
where I'm at. I like that there's a solution, a possible one, but we have to have a backup plan as well, because if this is still, you've got to get elected in 2 months, so he's going to be doing this for another month, right? At least.
I'm going to tell you that everybody has to say their prayers. Okay, I mean, honestly, that's where it all comes from, and we all need to be united. Everybody needs to support Carmel Rowe. We all are accountable. We all need to step up and show up, and we need to vote, and we need to care, and we need to make our children care, because the city they have done this to us I am 39 years old. They have done this to us for 39 years. My mother has been praying for the city since I can remember at 3 years old, and I've been watching this. This is not something that was just a one term. Okay, this is something that has been going on, and we have all been led to believe that our opinions don't matter, and that we don't matter, and that we can't vote. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We better vote. We better care about the future. We better care about the money. Look around. Everybody complains. Well, if you complain and you don't vote, then you better stop complaining. Period.
I always said we need a movement. I call it a movement. That's what we need.
I believe that, and I always say, I think the movement has begun. It's just, we're all starting to come together now. It's your people over here, the people over here, that committee over there, that neighborhood watch group there. Everyone's starting to realize what's going on.
The truth is coming out. I saw it at the last city council meeting.
That was a scary meeting.
And I was actually amazed. I was like, oh, wow.
There were some furious people.
I know, but I mean, I've never heard a meeting where the truth was actually starting to come. I mean, I heard Jim Mulvihill say that he should retire. This is probably not the job for him. I heard.
Did you hear Charette tell people to go to Rialto?
Yes, I heard Fred Charette. Well, Fred Charette, you moved to Rialto. We're tired of you. Go home. Let somebody else take your position the next time around. Okay? John Valdivia, okay, I appreciated what you said in the last meeting. I appreciated that your voice was so strong and that it sounded to me like you researched your information. Councilman Benito Barrios, I know you are a good man. I know you are a leader. Step up and claim what is yours. God gave it to you. Take hold of it. The people are counting on you. Virginia Marquez, you've been nice to my daughter, so I don't really know what to say, but I think that you've been in the rehabilitation facility, and you've been in the juvenile facility, and you've worked with the county, and you've worked with people that go to jail, and I think that maybe we should help some of these people, and maybe we should get some of these people off the streets, and maybe we should actually look at what goes on, and I think you have the power to do that. So that's what I should say. Ricky Van Johnson, I appreciate you stepping down. Thank you. The Lord appreciates you stepping down. That's my take.
Yeah, right on. Well, anything for Mr. Mulvihill, or?
I told you, he said that he should retire, and I believe that he should retire, and I believe that we should all support Leticia Garcia, because she is for the people. She is a mother. I usually have a good sense to tell who's a liar and who's not, and her heart is there, and her mind is there, and the desire and the drive is there, and she speaks the truth, and I've heard her speak the truth, and I appreciate that. So I think that anybody who's listening to this radio show should make sure that if they live in the 7th Ward, that she gets their vote.
Well, while we're going at this, what about the mayor?
Well, I think that at the next election, the mayor should not be the mayor anymore. I do not feel that he asserts his voice. I do not feel that he is a leader. I will be the treasurer at that time, so I probably will not run to be the mayor, because I will be fixing the problems, and I'm not just getting in here to get a position. No, I'm in here to solve the problem that has been created all these years ago. So, I might like to see Councilman Benito Barrios step up. I might like to see Henry Nichols step up. I might like to see somebody with the voice and with the passion that has not been bought, and neither one of those two councilmen have been bought.
We've been pretty hard on Mr. Kennedy. On his side, he's been in there 24 years, right? So, how are those investments doing?
Where did our money go?
Yeah, did he do a decent job or not?
No, we're in bankruptcy. How could you say he did a decent job? Nobody knows where the money. We don't have audits, and we're still fighting about the same thing.
Okay, all right. That's fair. That's fair to say, but
ain't there $300 million that nobody knows where it went?
Well, I'm just thinking if he wasn't really in charge of the monies, if he was in charge of the investments, maybe the investments did fine and everything else was screwed.
Well, if we had such fine investments, we wouldn't be in bankruptcy.
I was just thinking they were going on a certain, like you want a certain return on each in your investment. So over 20 years, you'd want a certain percentage, right?
I'd say that silence equates to agreement. So you went on with the whole thing for all these years, and we're in bankruptcy. And you should have been the one accountable, but because you failed to know your complete job duty or do it, or maybe you were bought, or maybe you were paid for, or maybe the politics, or I don't know, maybe these investments funded your own investment firm and you've been getting paid off of those plus your salary, I don't know. Okay, I'm not accusing him of any of that, but I would have to look at all of those things, because I would say that after 24 years, to look at the Treasury, to look at our money, I would say that nobody did the right thing and nobody did their job.
The money just disappeared.
Goodbye, see you later.
So last meeting you were watching, and did you notice that the Charter Committee made a recommendation to dissolve the treasurer as elected position and make it just a hired position? How do you feel about that?
I feel that once I get elected, that will never happen. I feel like every Fortune 500 company has a treasurer, and there's a reason why. The reason that we would try to get away from the treasurer is the same reason that we've told the treasurer for all these years that he doesn't really have a job, is so that we can continue to not know where the money is. You know, if you're raising my taxes, I want to know that you're spending it for what it's going for. I don't want to be forced. I want to be asked. I want to be united. I don't want the council up there fighting. You know, when you bring something forward, let's all discuss it one day. Let's move it to another meeting and let's come back. I mean, that's how families decide things. Let's lead by example. We do not, even now. We do not. I am very disappointed in Gary Sines. Okay, I've known Gary Sines since I was a little girl. I do not feel that he stepped into his job and did it properly. Okay, I do not. I do not feel that we have that the leaders who were chosen have actually stepped up and fulfilled their role, and I am very disappointed.
Do you think there's initially the recall was because of a rift between the city manager and the mayor, and if there's another rift right now, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they're having a rift right now, isn't that the same thing that we dealt with before? Like, the recall didn't even do anything.
Carmel Rowe would be the person to unite everybody with the power to speak to everybody and to educate everybody on our dollars. Carmel Rowe will take that job. She will run with that job. She will love that job, and she will be accountable to every single person. And I will be accountable. I'm not saying that I'm going to go and find where all the money... I'm not saying that we should drag up all those demons. Everybody got away with it. I've racked my brain for a long time on how, and I figured it out when I was studying the treasurer's position, because there is an at-will employee in charge of our money that we can fire whenever we don't like the truth. Okay, when in all actuality, it is the treasurer's job, and for 24 years, we have not allowed that position to do its full job. That position is very much needed. That position is very much wanted by the community, because the whole community wants transparency. They want accountability, and they want somebody that will speak to them and that will answer their questions. I have no problem doing any of those things.
Can anybody vote for the treasurer of the city, or
everybody?
The whole San Bernardino?
The whole city of San Bernardino needs to go out and vote on November 3rd for the treasurer position. This is a city. I will be a citywide elected official, which means I don't work for any ward. I work for every ward, which means I work for the mayor, which means first and foremost I work for Jesus and the people. Okay, I will not become a puppet. I don't even believe in asking for money. I haven't even raised any campaign money because I refuse. Unless I can pay for it myself, I don't really want it. I was endorsed by the Latino Chicacas Democratic Club today, but they endorsed a lot of people, and they are not giving money. They're just putting in ads. So I feel happy that people like to hear what I have to say and that they are proud to support me, but I have not been out getting 5,000 and 10,000 and 1,000. No, if anybody supports me, I want 5, 10s, and 20s, and I want it to come from the people, because I want to work for the people. I want to tell the truth. I want to get to the bottom of this. I do not want to suffer anymore.
All right, now, those were the easy questions.
That's okay. I can answer whatever one you got.
Well, I'm ready, because this one is a little interesting. I don't know if Elmo's hiding behind there, but he'll appreciate this question. Do you support the legalization of cannabis in California and the lifting of the San Bernardino ban on cannabis?
Yes, I do. Most people should know that. I was on the front page of the newspaper. I did write a ordinance. City kept telling me I don't know how to spell, and that was really bothering me, so I sent it to an attorney. I've had it spell checked a million times, and it's right. I did put it on hold because I did want to run for the treasurer. I feel like the people knowing where the money went is a little more important than me pushing my ordinance right now. I have spoke to several people in the community to go ahead and run with the ordinance. I do believe that the city of San Bernardino actually needs to regulate and limit marijuana. I do know of about 20 businesses that do not pay their taxes and could be shut down by the State Board of Equalization.
Did you hear that, Mr. Mayor? 20 businesses we could be getting more taxes from.
It's more than 20. It's like 63. But I'm saying, like, I have personally taken years of my life to go into where nobody else can get into because I do have a rec and an ID, and I've investigated and I've seen what has gone on, and I understand why people don't want marijuana in the city of San Bernardino. I don't want it here either unless it is regulated and limited and we are collecting tax dollars.
How are we going to regulate that?
Well, I have an ordinance ready to go. If everybody would follow it, we could regulate it, and we could use the State Board of Equalization, who really wants their tax money, to come in and help us shut those ones down that don't follow the rules.
And the mayor could bring that up if he wishes. They made the ban on synthetics like in 4 months.
Anybody can bring it up. A common council could bring it up. Someone could second it. We were all talking about it. The city attorney did say it was a good idea.
Well, Benito Barrios brought it up for the LRC, but it's still pending there. It sits there
No,
on the...
it's not pending. They voted against it, which is why we went back to square one, and I decided to file the ordinance.
Well, yeah, I was just there the other day. It was on the agenda, still pending.
Still pending? There it goes. They don't even know because I was at the agenda where they closed it.
Guess what the other thing pending on there was?
What?
Panhandling. So the major issues in our city, they have pending.
I mean, go figure.
You think we'd want to get into those, right?
Go figure. I think that if we need revenue generation, truth be told, if we're speaking the truth, people either are going to like me or they're not. But why don't we legalize the prostitution on baseline and collect the money? I mean, if we've been collecting that tax revenue for all these years, we might not be in bankruptcy. Okay? I mean, we are San Bernardino. Let's not hide from what we are. Let's use what we have. Let's turn the city around for the betterment of the people that are here. People are suffering. I drive around and I see people sleeping in grass. Okay? I see the park that Mayor Valles spent millions of dollars on. Look at it. We don't even water. I went through 16 pages of grants where they're water friendly. Hey, let's water the parks. I mean, what are we doing? We're arguing about things that don't matter. Let's come together. The people are struggling. We are struggling. Our kids are struggling. I mean, I pray every night. I pray every night for the city. I cry out, okay? We need a change. We need a voice. We need a person. We need the truth. And right now we don't have not one. Have you guys heard any one person say any of the words that have come out of my mouth ever? No.
Well, we do try to get at the truth here on I Love San Bernardino, that's for sure. And you have a very, very strong personality, so I can see why in the beginning I didn't vote for you.
Hey, well, it's the truth, you know.
But, you know what? I'm not allowed to say anything of that nature now. But in the future, I do like when people speak their minds. And I think that's important.
You can say like.
Now, there's certain things I can't say because I've been censored here until the elections are over. But I'm doing my best. It's federal law can sanction.
It's okay, Robert. It's okay.
Like I said, you either love me or you hate me, okay? There is no in between. If you want the truth, I'm telling it.
Well, there's another interesting thing that happened at the meeting last week. The former mayor of San Bernardino's son was removed from his position in there.
I was so pleased.
What does remove mean?
Well,
goodbye. See you later.
His contract wasn't renewed.
I was so pleased.
I was hoping you could explain to me why the mayor kept saying over and over about this animal shelter and the commingling of funds. What does that mean?
Oh, thank you. You know, my dog actually got arrested, and so I got to have a whole little run-in with the animal shelter. And yes, they commingle funds. They do not care about those animals. They actually I attended one city council meeting where this attorney had all these statistics. They're actually saying they're giving dogs drugs, but they're not. Every dog has kennel cough. That is an area that definitely needs to be looked at. Some funds definitely need to be. I don't even know the word, but that is a problem.
I think it was more that Morris was commingling funds.
I'm going to tell you. Yeah, I'm going to tell you about Morris. I'm going to tell you. I also received the book of all the city properties. I got it from Councilman Nickel, and I'm so happy because I'm a real estate professional. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you that all these years we paid this guy to put together this book, and it's pretty much just a bunch of comps on the city property. It's not really a plan, so I want to know, what did you do? Because I don't believe that he's done anything, and I just feel that he was there because there was so much corruption going on in the EDD, okay, and he's there trying to cover it up, and now maybe that he's gone, okay, and Carmel Rowe is the treasurer. That is something that we can look at because I already have the book. I know the properties. I've been studying these things for years. These are things that need to be, we need to watch our properties. Where's the rent money for the mall been going? I don't know. I want to know what account does the rent money for the mall. I want to know why do we not have this mall.
There is no money for the mall.
Yeah, in this book it says that the mall generates quite a lot of rent money on a yearly basis. So I want to know, where did it go? I wish I would have brought the book. Could have showed you a lot more.
It's kind of interesting when the truth comes out, doesn't it, Mr. Alcaraz?
Yes, it does. Mm-hmm. So what's going to happen to the mall?
Well, I don't know. When I was
Nobody knows.
Well, when I was at the meeting downstairs below, they said that. So my phone didn't turn off. I think it's like April 8th. They're having a meeting, and I can tell you because my phone died and I wrote it in my phone. They're having a meeting at the Fox Theater about 8:00 in the morning to find out about the mall. Now, I've spoke to several people, and I think people try to keep it a secret, but because I always do my digging and my research, I get more information than most. Mm-hmm. But the book that I have says that they valued the mall at like $5.7 million, and then they could take away money from the mall based on, the area of San Bernardino. And I'm thinking, hey, man, you guys paid $16 million for the mall, so are we letting people highway robber the mall? Like, I'd like to see the mall up and collecting tax dollars. I mean, honestly, I pray over the mall. I worry about the mall. When I come in here, I grew up here. My first job was here. Actually, my second job. My first job was at Del Taco. I used to work at the movies in the mall.
Oh my gosh, you worked at Del Taco?
I worked at Del Taco on East Street.
I think I remember you.
I used to work at Del Taco on East Street, okay?
We're similar age. Wow.
My second job was the movies here in Carousel Mall. And I used to spend my paychecks at Montgomery Wards, okay? When I come in here, my heart is broken. This mall will revitalize that. This mall will bring a lot of things. And you know what? It is an asset. San Bernardino has a lot of assets, and we are told that we don't have assets. We are told that these are liabilities. No, they are not liabilities. They are assets. It's just that San Bernardino does not know how to look at the glass half full because they've been robbing and pilfering and doing what's right for them instead of what's right for us. So the mall is an asset. We have plenty of assets. Our fire department is an asset. Our buildings at the fire department is an asset. The grants that we get with our fire department are an asset. Okay, no, I'm not funded by the fire department. These are just my own beliefs. I've actually knocked door to door, spoke to the firemen, and you know what? Maybe if we all let them come and live in here, then they could see their families. But they give 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to us, okay, and we spit in their face. I don't agree with that.
I don't spit in their face.
I'm just saying, I don't agree. I don't agree with the city spitting in their face. I do not.
I love San Bernardino Fire Department.
I was so pleased with Judge Jury, I think that's her name.
Yes.
Thank you. I was so pleased. I was just so happy. I just feel like
she actually stood up and did something she's never done in her whole career.
Yes, and I have to say, I think it's because I've been praying. So I'm just going to tell you a lot of these things. I pray, and I drive around City Hall and I pray, and when I see the truth, I think, oh, thank you, God, for answering what I've been asking for. So
sometimes there has to be rough times before they're the good ones, but
that's how we get our blessings.
Spirituality definitely needs to be added more into San Bernardino. That's for sure. All right, team. Well, thank you very much, Ms. Wait, Mr. Alcaraz got one more.
I thought that the state owns the mall. I thought the city couldn't do nothing here.
No, the city owns the mall. I have a book that says the city owns the mall and that somebody collects almost $500,000 of rent on a yearly basis.
Didn't somebody say that the state owned it?
I've heard a lot of things, but I think that it wasn't. I think the state kind of has everything on hold because they caught the EDD and like Morris's son and them with their hand in the cookie jar, trying to transfer properties in an illegal fashion. Now, I don't know that I'm quoting that exactly right, but I know I've read the newspaper. I've heard all these things. I've read all these things.
Oh, wow.
And we were in a holding situation, and I think that's, why we were like, hey, we're going to wind this down. But at the same time, I'd like to see the money that was spent of that, because if all we got is this little book, mostly it's comps, mostly it tells you what's the value. It's mostly repetitive things. I mean, it lists all the properties, but I think that if you hired a competent real estate professional or a commercial real estate group, which works on commission, I think you could have got the same thing. So
wow.
That's just my take. So
one more question. This is a fast one.
Okay.
We're in reconsolidation, it's chapter 9, and I thought that the money goes to the court and the court distributes the money.
Well, I don't actually think that's correct in a chapter 9. Like, that is correct in like a chapter 13, like a personal bankruptcy. But a court can't actually control a city's money. Like, that's why we have mediation. But what it does is it kind of freezes everything, so it gives the city a chance to reorganize. Because if the court were to control it, then they would be reorganizing it. And by law, the court is not allowed to reorganize a city. A city must reorganize its own self.
But she can give the blessing to a proposal or
Right.
a plan.
Oh, I
Right.
see.
She can.
Okay.
And if she doesn't like it, she can also say,
Right. She can say, go back and try it again.
like with the Brown Act.
So it's kind of like in between reconsolidation, right?
Yeah,
So to speak.
we're kind of like in the middle.
Yeah.
We're still in holding. I don't see that much has gone on. I'm hoping that, sooner than later, we all get it together. November 3rd is coming. Please vote for Carmel Row.
Thank you so much for coming on, Carmel, and I'd
Thank
love
you
to
so
have you on
much.
again if you win, or if you don't, still, please, it was an excellent interview.
Anytime, just let me know.
Thank you very much.
Right on. We'll be back in a second. Do, 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 do.